Welcome everybody, Tony Porter, and it's Tabletop Baseball Digest, and this is a demo of SRBG Baseball. It's brand new, hot off the presses, hot out of the oven, tabletop baseball game. I like, just initially visually, I like the cards. I like the kind of yellowish, it gives it a vintage look. It's a very clean, crisp, uncluttered card. We're going to look at it and be open-minded about it. Let's take a look. So it's Harrison Bader. What I'm doing here is playing just a practice game. Now, if you watch my video on how to learn a new game, I think it has some valuable tips, and I'll be using some of those tips through the course of this. I don't know how many innings I'm going to get through because I am using a phone and it's a different element. I have to kind of limit how far I can go on this. So anyway, all right, so on Harrison, so you're rolling 4 dice. It's not unlike you do with Stratomatic, right? I have the D20, I have the 2 blue D6s, and I have the 1 white D6. So I rolled for the column, right? I rolled for the column, and that was 5 with the white D6, and then of course the 2 blues. They should be 2 blacks, but I didn't feel like grabbing black. It didn't matter to me. So that was a 6. Let's see if... Anyway, the first thing I did was I rolled off the pitcher, and it was not off the pitcher's card. Kodai Senga. It's Kodai Senga versus Garrett Cole. It's Yankees versus Mets. We are at Shea Stadium at Citi Field, and the lineups are Bader, Judge, Rizzo, Stanton. This is 2023. Torres, IKF, Trevino, and Volpe. For the Mets, who are in Queens, it's Lindor, Nimmo, Marte, Alonso, Canna, Alvarez, McNeil, Beatty, and and Stewart. So it's Harrison Bader. That was the first roll. It was a 5, and it ended up being a strikeout. I don't know. Anyway, I believe I rolled an 8, and it tipped over with movement and so on. And that's about it. All right, so that was my first batter. He struck out, which makes sense, right? This is 2023, so that's what will happen. Next is Judge, right? Probably the Babe Ruth of our modern era. So let's first roll to see. Well, I can just roll them all together. Let's see if it falls within the 7 to 20 range on Kodai Senga. That's the first thing you got to do. Is it off the pitcher card or the batter card? A little bit status pro, right? 7 to 20, but this is done with a D20. So we're going to roll and see what happens. Okay, it's a 15. So that falls. It's going to be on Senga's card. And we rolled a 1, so it's going to be in the 1, 2, 3 column. And then we rolled a 12. And this is going to be a rare play. Oh, my God. All right, here's a rare play chart with the bases empty. I'm going to roll 2d6 and see what happens. And it's a 4. It's a strikeout, drop third strike, batter safe at first. So it's going to be a strikeout E2. So he is on at first. So Judge makes it to first. He hustled down to first, and that was kind of cool. And it's Anthony Rizzo batting third. This year he is out. He is out of lineup. He's got fractured his forearm or something to that effect. Okay. Here is our third batter of the game with a runner on first on an E2, and it's a 13. That will fall on Senga's card, 7 to 20. Right? 7 to 20, and we rolled a 6. And we rolled a 2. So the white is the column 1, 1, 2, 3. And then it's a 6 on the 2 blue. So it's a fly out. All right. And I'm just going to play it straight up. It's going to be, there's a way of doing this. I could do 1 and 2 left field, 3 and 4 to center field. I could do that. There's a lot of different things you could do. So just for now, I'm just going to make it a fly out to left field. He is a lefty. So I could do a 1 to left field and a 2, 3, 4 to center field and a 5, 6 to right field, that sort of thing. So we'll make it center field. And that's all I'm going to do right now. Now, there could be an element of tagging up, but I'm not going to do that right now since I'm just learning this game. Next is Giancarlo. There's 2 outs with a runner on first and Giancarlo Stanton. So we're going to roll again to see if it's on Kodai Senga's card. Let's do it. All right, so it's a 7. It is on Senga's card, 7 to 20. They're right there, right? And then we're going to do the 5. It's right in the middle column. And then we're going to do an 11, and that's going to be a strikeout. See that right there? And that ends the inning. So that was pretty simple, pretty straightforward. So if you're a grandfather, if you're a father, you want to play with your kids, this is so far very straightforward, very simple. Kind of cool. It's got that vintage element to it for sure. It's the rule book. If you watch my first video, the unboxing of this game, you'll see that the rule book is about 10 pages and it's mostly base running, and that's pretty self-explanatory. All right, so that's the top of the first inning. Now, it depends on how much I talk and how this goes. I may only do 3 innings of a demo. That'll give you plenty. I'll make sure it gives you plenty to, if you want to pick up this game and try out this game, you can do that, right? Okay, so here are the Mets. It's going to be Francisco Lindor. I'm doing old school, paper and pencil. Let's roll to see if it's Garrett Cole now. He won the Cy Young. He's 6 to 20. And that is a 17, so it falls within that 6 to 20. So we'll be off Cole's card, a 4-5, because the white is a 4. That's that middle column, and then an 11, and that's a ground ball. So we're going to make that a ground ball. And again, I could, there's a lot of ways you could do it. You could do, it just doesn't really matter right now. We're learning the game, so I'm not worried about that. So it's a ground ball to the shortstop, let's say. Okay, 1 away. Next is Brandon Nimmo. It's a 10, falls on Cole's card. It's a 6. The 6 column with a 2, the blues are a total of 10, so that is a 10, and that's a base hit single. Ground ball and past the diving second baseman. So Nimmo is on with a single. Now I could try to steal with Nimmo, 12 to 20. Attempt is 17 to 20, so he doesn't run very often. So let's try it and see. Nope. There you go. Now I'm not using lefty-righty splits right now. I'm not doing that yet. Have not gotten to that point yet. Just learning the basic game. I want to be comfortable with the cards, be comfortable with the system. All right, so it's runner on first, Starling Marte. There is a chart for hit and run and all that, but I'm not worried about that right now. Okay, so it's a 12. It does fall on Garrett Cole's card, and it's a 5 again. The white is a 5, which puts you in the middle column, and then you have the 9, and that's going to be an out with an asterisk. Okay, so this is going to require me to look up some stuff. An out with an asterisk. Let's see where that is. Now, this is the whole rule book. Fly out, an out with an asterisk. I don't know what that means, and I don't even know where to find it. Let's see, results, fly out with an asterisk. Oh, all runners advance 1 base. Okay, all right, there it is. So it's an out, I guess it's a ground out, and runner advances. Runner is second base, dives for it, throws to first, runner goes to second, and here's Pete Alonso. And that asterisk is, let's see if what does the asterisk mean? It's okay. It says, out, all runners advance 1 base with the asterisk. Without it, it's just runners hold. Okay, sounds good. All right, so Pete Alonso's up. Let's do that again. Garrett Cole looks in, gets the sign from Trevino, and that falls on Cole's card. It's a 4. That white die is a 4, middle column, and snake eyes. Oh, that's line, base hit. And with 2 outs, I'm going to score Nimmo. Because with 2 outs, if you're a pretty fast player, I will score you at this point. I'm not going to worry about... with Nimmo, I could roll... base running is 8 to 20. Oh, that's Starling Marte. Hold on a second. Nimmo, okay. He is 13 to 20 base running. There are 2 outs, so you can subtract 3, which makes it 10 to 20. And that's what we're going to do. So we're going to roll. We're going to do, instead of just scoring them like I did automatically, I could do that, or I could do the base running. So it's I'm not sure what the rules say with 2 outs, but I don't really care. I kind of look them over, and I have a sense of what they're saying. So you'll have to look exactly what it says with the base running. Fly out, righty lefty matchup, 26 die, results, base. Okay, I'm not worried about that. I'm just going to give him a... All right, it's going to be a single. Base running checks ground balls. Attempted base stealing. Pitching fatigue. All right, so I'm not really totally worried about that right now. I'm just trying to get comfortable with the game. So it is going to be an RBI single with 2 outs for Pete Alonso, and that's going to bring up Mark Canha. So there's a lot of ways. I'm not worried about the score. I'm not worried about the hits. I'm not worried about anything right now other than just getting through this game or the first 3 innings. I think the first 3 innings are the biggest challenge. So now it's Mark Canha with 2 outs. So runner on first. It's Pete Alonso, takes his lead. And Cole gets the sign. It's a 12, so it falls on Cole's card. It's a 4. The white is a 4. It's that middle column. And a 9 is going to be an out, and that'll be the 3rd out. And we're going to make that a fly out, whatever, 1. So it's 1 run. So it was 0. I do it like this. I'll show you. It was 0 and 0. Here it's going to be 1 run on 2 hits at the bottom. So my runs are on top, and then my hits are at the bottom. It's 1-0 Mets. And then you can even circle it. There you go. 1-0 Mets. And we go to top of the 2nd inning. So this game cost me $40, and it cost me $40 plus the shipping. I think it was $10. That was fair, I thought. All right, so here goes Josh Donaldson, Torres, and IKF. So we're going to roll. We're going to look at the D20 first. The 12 falls within the Kodai Senga range. Now he had a good ERA of 2.98. I would start with the better pitchers at first in my first game, and that's how I did it. That's what I recommend. Okay, so it's going to be off Senga. The white is a 6 column, and then it's an 8, and that's going to be a strikeout. So Donaldson, what a surprise, swings and misses. He batted 150, by the way. It says it right here. 152 was his average. Terrible. 13 home runs. Nightmare. All right, here's Gleyber Torres. Senga gets the sign from Alvarez. And it's a 3. I'm sorry, it's an 18, which is off Senga's card. A 3 is that 1, 2, 3 column, that first column. And then a snake eyes is a drive in the gap, and that's going to split the outfielders, roll to the wall. Digging for second is Torres. A big turn, but he decides against going to third, and he stops at second with a 1-out double. All right, and next up will be IKF. Right around second, gets his lead. Senga looks in at Alvarez, the rookie. Oh. And it's a 13. Well, it was a 13, and we'll leave it at that. 13, so it is off Senga. The 6 is that 3rd column, and then the 9 is a swing and a miss. Strikes out IKF. And here's Jose Trevino. Again, we're looking at that D20 first to see if it's off the... Ooh, that's going to be off the batter card now. And it's a 6. This is a good column for the batter. And it's an 11, and that's going to be a drive, and that's over the center fielder's head. He misjudged the ball, line drive, and that's going to be to the base of the wall. And digging for second is Trevino. He's in there, and that's an RBI double. The game is tied 1-1. Holy smokes. All right. So Jose Trevino comes up big. Last batter in the lineup is Anthony Volpe. Senga gets the sign. Runner on second gets his lead. That's a 5. That is going to be off Volpe. And White is a 2. And that's the first column. And then an 8. And he checks his swing, but they check with the first base umpire. He went around, and that retires the side. So 1 run on 2 hits. And we move on to the bottom of the second inning. Now check out all my other videos. Remember to like and subscribe my channel. It basically allows me to do more videos for you. Okay, I got Alvarez batting 5th, and I got Daniel Vogelbach. All right, so we're going to dump him somewhere back here with the Mets. There it is. Okay, let's check. All right, everything's in order. Francisco Alvarez, Garrett Cole. Here's the pitch. And that is going to be a 1. So that is not off Cole. It's off Alvarez. A 4 is off that middle column. And then the 2 blue is a 10. That will tell you the row, and that will be an out. And we'll just make that a fly out. Next up is Jeff McNeil. That's from the left side. Batting champion in 2022. Here's the pitch. And a 4. That's too low for Garrett Cole, which is 6-20, right? That 4 is too low. And we're going to go to a 4, which is that middle column, and a 6, which is a fly ball to deep center field. Backing up a few steps is Bader, and he makes the catch. 2 down. And next up is Brett Beatty. And I actually wrote his name with 2 T's. I don't know why I did that. Okay. And here is the pitch. Cole gets the sign from Trevino, and that's a 19. That will be off Cole. And the White is a 3. And that's that first column with the snake eyes, and that's a drive down the line. It stays fair, it's trouble, and it is into the corner. Beatty digging for second. The throw to second, the tag, and he is safe. A 2-out double for Brett Beatty, who is in the minors this year. Next up is DJ Stewart. He's the DH. He's batting 9th. So Cole has a runner at second base. Here's the pitch. And a 17 will be off Cole's card. That 2 is in that first column. And then a 5 is a fly ball. Popped up, left field. He's a lefty right field. And that ends the inning. So no runs, 1 hit, and we go to the top of the 3rd inning. And if you play app, I think, or even basic strat, I think this is pretty straightforward. Now, there is one element that is missing, and that's very apparent, right? It is the defensive element. Probably this game is still at some point, at some stage, developing. So he decided against. He wanted to keep it simple. There are a lot of factors involved so far, and he wanted to get a feel for what the market would embrace. Things have changed lots in the last 4 years. I know in 2020 during COVID, I think there was it was the golden age, I think, of our tabletop hobby, simply because people were locked down, and it went back to our early era of childhood, adolescence, when you just couldn't leave the house whenever you wanted. There was certain times you left, certain times you stayed, and you spent time in your room and you played these games, right? That's what we did back then. We didn't have cell phones. So anyway, all right, let's start. It's the top of the lineup. It's Bader. Bader struck out the first time. It's the 3rd inning. It's 1-1. Pretty good game so far. Let's see what happens. That's a 10, and that will be off off Senga, off Senga, and it will be the 4. The 4 is down that middle column with a 6, and that'll be a fly ball to Bader. I think I don't know what he is, but it is a fly ball out. 1 away. Next is Aaron Judge. Here are your lefty splits, lefty-righty splits right here. He's 0-0, so he hits them about evenly. And the 18 is going to fall on Senga's card, which is an advantage for Senga because it is Judge. So you're going to get the very fewer home runs, right? And then it's going to be a 4, which is going to be line base hit, so he rips a single. And Judge is on at first. Now, Judge 7-20 on stolen bases. Doesn't steal very many, 18-20. Oh, a 19. There he goes. And he is safe with a stolen base. So Judge steals second base. Let's see how many stolen bases he had. He had 3. So you're not going to be running very often with Judge, but he does steal a base here, so I can show you how it works. There's no effect on catchers, on throwing arm, or anything like that. Anthony Rizzo, runner on second, 1 out. We're in the top of the third. The score is tied at 1. We're playing a new game. It is the SRBG baseball tabletop game. I'm doing a demo. And here's a 7, so that will be Senga. Senga 7-20. It will be on Senga's card. The 4, the white 4, will go in that middle column. And then a 9 will be a swing and a miss. Strikes out Rizzo, who's out in front of that curveball. Or that, what does he throw? Man, he throws screwball, right? Split-fingered. The ghost something. Anyway, all right. Hasn't pitched this season. He's been injured the whole season. He came back for a few innings. And 2 outs, runner on second. Judge takes his lead. It's Giancarlo Stanton. Last year, he batted 191 with 24 home runs in limited duty. He does get injured a lot. Here's the pitch. We're looking at that D20. The 6 is too low. It will be on Giancarlo. The 2 puts us in the first column. And then a 9er. And he checks his swing. The check with the first base umpire rings him up. And that retires the side. So no runs, 1 hit. We go to the bottom of the first inning. So you're getting a feel for this game. It moves pretty fast. It's pretty straightforward. There's not a lot, in terms of defense. Well, there's no defense at all, right? Defense is not. Now, defense, I'm sure, is considered in the offensive numbers, right? Appa Basic doesn't have heavy-duty defense. It has the three columns, the first, the second, and the third, of course, the third being the worst. And even Stratomatic in its basic format doesn't have really a lot of depth in defense. It's got 1 to, historically it's been 1 to 4, and then they upped it to 1 to 5. But that doesn't really I don't think those are enough numbers to really separate the great fielders from the poor fielders. I think they're too close together. I'd like to see more of a D20 or almost a D100 for defense, Anyway, or a 66. I think a replay baseball uses 66. All right, so let's go to Lindor. Where are we? Garrett Cole versus... so I probably made some mistakes here on this game, and that's fine because this is my first game, and that's part of the experience. You don't worry about the mistakes, whatever mistakes you made. I'm filming this, so it's easy to find the mistakes. But when you don't film it, and I encourage you guys to film it, you can watch my video about how to do your own videos, so you can help grow the hobby as well. Lindor versus Cole. Bottom of the third. So it's a 14. It will be off Cole. The 5, the white 5, puts us in that middle column. And then the 12 will be a swing and a miss. Strikes out Lindor. So Lindor's 0 for 2 today. Next is Brandon Nimmo. Now we're starting to move a little bit faster. That 13 will be off Cole. 1 column on the white. And then 6 with the blue. And that will be the ground ball. Ground ball to Nimmo's a lefty, so ground ball to second base. 2 down. And here's Starling Marte. It is a 6. And, we want to look at that D20, which will not be on Cole's card. It will be on Marte's card. It will be that 6. And then, of course, the 2 blue die is an 8, and that's ground ball. Shortstop. And rushes the throw, and in time to just get the speedy Marte, who is struggling with a growing issue, and that retires the side. We go to the top of the fourth inning. So there you go. I don't want to make this a half hour, an hour long video. I want to keep it nice and short so you just get a feel to the game. It's not complicated at all. I've showed you some elements of it. I skipped some elements of it, which is fine. If you watch my video on how to learn a new game, I think the 7 steps or the 5 steps to how to learn a new game, I think I give you real good advice there to release, kind of overcome some of that stress or that, caution of getting into a new game. I think most of our games we understand now. This has an element of payoff pitch as well. It's got that 2 to 12. Right, that 2 to 12 format, and then of course the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You could think of replay, whereas replay would have 3 columns: 1 for 1, 1 for 2, 1 for 3, 1 for 4, 1 for 5, and then 1 for 6. It would have 6 columns. This one kind of joins the 1, 2, 3, the 4, 5, so it does simplify it. The cards are very clean and uncluttered. It plays very straightforward. Game seems realistic. It's 1-to-1 going to the top of the 4th. It does have 2 of the better pitchers. A lot of the roles have come off the pitcher card, which is basically what you want. So far I'm interested. I will do the next 4 innings in a separate video. So if you're still interested and you want to see a little bit more, just go and watch video number 2. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe my channel. This is Tony Porter for Tabletop Baseball Digest, and I will talk to you very soon.